You've obviously positioned your Heinz Marketing group really around this B2B go-to-market sales and marketing alignment. And that's kind of specific in terms of industry, but also kind of functions and the role that you can play in that pipeline development. So I think as companies are evaluating the right provider for them, do you have a recommendation on looking first for kind of that industry specialization, or do you want to go more, and you mentioned earlier, brand demand, the different kind of specialties that they might lean into? How do you think about as someone who's looking at services? We're in 2025 budgeting season and folks are starting to kind of go out and put feelers out for next year. Where do you start that evaluation to kind of narrow down what may be a really big list of potential providers you're looking for?
Yeah, I mean, I think it has to start with real clarity on what your objectives are, right? And not I'm looking for a PR firm, but like, what do I want that PR firm to achieve? Because I've had this conversation with people say, like, I need to hire a PR firm. It's like, great, what do you need? I need pipeline. It's like, that's not really what PR firms do, right? And so if you need pipeline, that's a different program, a different strategy. So being really clear about what you're trying to achieve, and then figuring out who are the people that are the best in the world at that. Like, I think one of the mistakes I think a lot of companies make is they say, I want fewer agency relationships, so I want one agency that can do everything. That is a unicorn. If you ever see one in the wild, capture it so we can study it and figure out how to replicate it. But I don't think it exists. I think that agencies that say they do everything started by doing one or two things really, really well, saw an opportunity for other things, and then decided they were going to do it. But that's not their DNA. That's not really their expertise, their specialty, or culture. So I think you benefit by having specialists do specialist work. Sometimes that's based on an industry. Sometimes that's based on a specific job to be done in the organization. For example, take residential real estate, right? If there's someone that has deep relationships with analysts and trade press in residential real estate, they can be worth their weight in gold versus someone who's a great PR professional, but maybe doesn't have that relationship, that context, that understanding. So that's a deep vertical opportunity. Horizontal could be someone that I tried to think about us as like, listen, like, we are not brand, we are not creative. I've got a long list of things we're not. If it's pipeline, we're in. Right? Building and generating repeatable, sustainable, predictable pipeline is our jam. And we can do that across industries as long as it is a complex buying cycle, right? And so plenty of things we get asked about doing, like, could we do it? Maybe. Will we do it? No, because that's not what we do. And I think that as a buyer of agency services, being really clear about what you want is important. As an agency, as a service provider, same clarity, like, find your niche and lean into it and be the best in the world at that work, at that outcome. It makes you irresistible and impossible to not hire in a situation where you can actually serve that.